guys, so welcome back to another video. I'm finally getting around to filming a first trimester like symptoms video and talking you through all of that. I'm also going to be filming the second trimester one as well today. It took me ages to like get around to doing it, and I don't know why. I mean, pregnancy symptoms and stuff like that obviously take it out of you, and pregnancy itself, carrying around such a big baby at the moment because I am in my final trimester at this point. So but yeah, I thought that, you know, it's better late than never, right? So I'm gonna like spread the videos out a little bit, but they shouldn't be too far apart, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get this up this week. Let's get into the video. So firstly, I was feeling nauseous every single day in my first trimester. Honestly, first trimester was the hardest trimester for me so far. I mean, we've still got the third trimester to go, but honestly it's so bad. I was nauseous every single day, but it was so annoying because I couldn't find a way to get rid of it through actually being sick, because even before I was pregnant, whenever I was ill, I'm not the sort of person to actually throw up. I just constantly feel sick, which is super annoying. But I was the same through my first trimester. I was just constantly so nauseous, and it just never really went away. The only things that I can think of that actually somewhat kind of eased it was drinking loads of water, which obviously they recommend to do when you're pregnant anyway. When I burped, that seemed to ease it a little bit as well, but you know, it was always kind of still there. Certain foods made it worse, definitely made it worse. So I tried to like have little of them or not have them at all, but some foods would ease it for a little while, but then it just comes straight back again, so it was super annoying and just made me feel like rubbish basically. Some other symptoms that I had in the first trimester was I had really tender boobs, and sometimes they hurt to touch as well, so that was a bit uncomfortable. I also had a really bad gag reflex when I was brushing my teeth. So when I was brushing my teeth or like brushing my tongue, I was constantly like gagging, and it made me feel like I wanted to throw up, because it was just horrible when I was brushing my teeth. I just couldn't wait to get it over and done with. Obviously, you probably hear and know of like when someone's pregnant in the first trimester, there's a lot of bloating, which I actually had, which was not very, which was to be expected, but also just made me feel like proper frumpy and like, I don't know, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's bloating. No one likes being bloated. But yeah, I was very gassy, all around gassy, in the first trimester as well, which is obviously a common symptom too. When I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get any cramps or anything like that, because, you know, I'm not having my period or anything like that. So I was like, yes, at least that's a thing. But I was wrong, because I had sharp pains, I had cramps, I had all of that, and I was just like, what is going on? Is something wrong? It just turns out that's just a lovely symptom of pregnancy. I also did have a little bit of back pain. It was nothing too painful. It was just like the odd faint back pain, which I could cope and handle, so that was fine. But I did have that. I also had acid reflux, which I have never experienced before I was pregnant. I've never had heartburn, acid reflux, whatever you want to call it. I've never had it. And I had a slight burning sensation in my throat a few times in the first trimester, which was new for me to experience, but it wasn't too bad because it wasn't all the time. And I started to get out of breath a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and I was like, oh wow, I wouldn't have expected that in the first trimester, because, you know, baby is really small and not really a baby in some parts of it, and growing, so it's not really that heavy. So I wouldn't have thought that I would be a little bit out of breath, but turns out that that is a thing. But it wasn't too bad. And because I was feeling so rubbish and poorly all the time, it took it out of me. So I was quite tired in the first trimester too. So it just meant like having a lot of rest, and to be quite honest, I don't really like having a lot of rest. I like to be doing something. Having to be told to like, oh, just go rest, and like, you know, then you'll feel better maybe, or it'll just help you recuperate. I don't like that, but sometimes it's obviously needed. When you're tired and you're feeling that poorly, you know, you have no choice to do that because you have no motivation or energy anyway. I was also feeling quite weak, and you know, because of low energy, tiredness, like feeling rubbish. So that kind of was to be expected as part of everything else. Now, moving on from symptoms to cravings that I had in the first trimester. Now, I will say this from this video, and it will probably carry on because I'm not expecting it to happen in the third trimester either. When people explain about cravings, like they say intense, whereas for me, it just feels like, I don't know, like you fancy that food, you like think of that food and like, oh, I want that. But I wouldn't say like it's really intense. It's just like a constant thought and feeling that comes into your head until you actually have that thing. But I wouldn't say it's like super intense. Like it didn't get on my nerves. So I don't know whether that's normal or not, but that's just how I've been. But nevertheless, these are what I craved in the first trimester. So chicken nuggets was a massive craving, as you would say, in the first trimester. Like I was eating bags full of chicken nuggets. Like just my boyfriend, KJ, he literally went to the shop and bought like 4 big bags of chicken nuggets because I was just going through them so much, and that's literally all I was eating, like a whole plate full. I would have loads at lunchtime, and then later in the day when it was dinner time I would have even more. So I was just like having platefuls of chicken nuggets, and it was great. Along with that, I was also having chicken burgers as well. So chicken is a thing that comes up quite a lot. And then I had a craving for donuts dipped in custard. Well, I say dipped in custard, I like the custard donuts, they're filled with custard. However, I am dairy free and all of that, so I can't actually go to the shop and get them ones. So I have to have like my dairy free custard and then get the donut and then do it that way. However, I said that the cravings weren't that intense, but for this one it was in particular. I don't know why. It took me a while to actually go and get it, and then when I got it I was like so happy, and I tried it and I didn't even eat the whole thing. Like I just couldn't, it made me feel sick. I was like, that is just gross, no. And then I turned it all in the bin because and I've never had it since because it just grossed me out. So that was a very short-lived craving. Another thing was sausage rolls. So they can be like, you know, the little cold sausage rolls that you get in a packet from the shop, or they could be like, you know, the proper baked ones that you kind of get from Greggs, but you can get from like Morrison's Bakery and stuff like that. Yeah, I was having those. Those were my favourite ones, favourite type of sausage rolls. And yeah, now I did actually crave some sweet stuff, so it was a bit sweet and salty this trimester was. So I craved like Starburst, or like sweets that were like them, so just like chewy sweets. Cake, just any cake, give me all the cake, just wanted cake all the time. And then another thing was anything coconut. So in my first trimester I actually did vlog a video where me and my partner went to the Christmas market, and I tried a coconut milk based hot chocolate, vegan hot chocolate, and from that moment I was like obsessed. I was like, right, give me all the coconut, like coconut cake, coconut anything, like, and then I made the hot chocolate at home as well with coconut milk. Oh my god, it's so good. And then also the last and final craving that I got was ice lollies. So I was really loving having something cold, and yeah, again, fruity. So that fruity thing's coming back again because it was there with Starburst and Chewy Sweets. So I guess I kind of craved fruity stuff in a way, but it was like not the healthy version, like actual fruit. So that was all my symptoms, all my cravings for my first trimester. I can't think of anything else. I mean, it was a while ago, so I probably wouldn't be able to anyway. But yeah, that was me for the first trimester. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or maybe you've been pregnant or you're currently pregnant. Let me know your cravings that you had or are having. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you in my second trimester.